RG3, as we know, got in a little bit of hot water with his post-game comments on Sunday. And we talked about this on Monday, where I'm like saying to RG3, help me help you. It doesn't matter how much you talk about the team and how much responsibility you take in the loss. It doesn't matter if you go ahead and say one thing that sounds like you're throwing your teammates under the bus. And he should know this, knowing that he's been in the media crosshairs ever since things began to go south with his knee injury in the playoff game a couple of years ago, with the whole Project Patience. And Donovan McNabb said, don't talk about your injury and how quickly you're going to come back from it, because if you don't come back quickly, you're just opening yourself up to media criticism, and that's exactly what happened. He knows better, RG3, than to say stuff like this post-game Sunday.
It doesn't take one guy. That's proven. You know, if you want to look at the good teams in this league, or the great quarterbacks, the Peytons, the Aaron Rodgers, those guys don't play well if their guys don't play well. They don't. We need everybody. I need every one of those guys in that locker room. And I know they're looking at me saying the same thing.
So RG3 said, you know, the guys in the locker room are looking at me to say the same thing. Of course, we in the media, we discard that. We also discarded him saying essentially that all the sacks were on him and that he took responsibility for all the sacks that he suffered in that horrible home loss to Tampa. But we ignore all that because he basically said, if my guys don't play well, I'm not playing well, just like every other good quarterback in this league would suffer if their guys don't play well. That is, help me help you, RG3. Jay Gruden had this to say about his quarterback's performance on Monday.
From Robert's perspective, you take everybody else out of the picture. Robert had some fundamental flaws. He did. His footwork was below average. You know, he took 3-step drops when he should have taken 5. He took 1-step drop when he should have taken 3 on a couple occasions, and that can't happen. He stepped up when he didn't have to step up and stepped into pressure. He read the wrong side of the field a couple times. So from his basic performance, just critiquing Robert, it was not even close to being good enough to what we expect from that quarterback position.
I don't recall a more kimono opening comment from a head coach about his quarterback in the 11 years that I've done this job, just NFL only, with the NFL Media Group and NFL Network, and obviously now this show. I don't remember a coach just basically saying, he just didn't, he blew it. He blew it here, he blew it there.
Stunk.
And he also mentioned, don't talk about other people on your team. Talk about yourself. A lot of people were saying, well, could you imagine if a quarterback went up to the podium and said, I'm not talking about my other teammates, it's all about me, which sort of flips the Jay Gruden spirit of what he was saying on its head in a way that I didn't really see. But there was a lot of comments about that, trying to defend RG3, who has to do a better job at the podium. He does. Matt Hasselbeck was on yesterday's show saying that's quarterback, face of franchise 101. When you're at the podium, talk about yourself. That's it. Take responsibility for yourself and just get out of there.
Yep.
Get out of there. Jim Mora, head coach of UCLA, in his usual Monday spot on this show, said that he basically plays Peyton Manning and Tom Brady press conferences for Brett Hundley as he's getting set to take the next step one day from the collegiate level to the pro football level. So RG3, about 35 minutes ago, stepped to the podium for his Wednesday press conference in the D.C. area prior to taking on the San Francisco 49ers this Sunday. And it is time to deconstruct this press conference on the Rich Eisen Show.
Nice.
Because we've done that on the podcast. We've deconstructed Belichick press conferences. The one in which Tim Tebow, after Tim Tebow was brought in by the Patriots in the training camp season.
The player?
The
right?
way he shut it down. The way he shut it down and the way he shuts down the media and forces the media to ask him yes or no questions to which he gives the one-word response. It's genius. That should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in some form of enshrinement, the way Belichick handled that press conference. And here is RG3 today. Mike Del Tufo, I'm going to ask you to start it and stop it every now and then. You're ready for this, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Here's RG3 today.
Jay wants me to play better. I want to play better. We're focused on San Francisco and making that happen. So that's all I got to say about that.
Stop it. Now, that was a little Forrest Gump right there. That's all I have to say about that. when asked about his performance of the previous week. That was awful quick for RG3. Is he shutting it down?
But doesn't he want to play better?
Is he shutting it down, though? This doesn't sound like the RG3 that sort of opines a lot, that says, I don't play well if others don't play well. Did he get some sort of message? And that's began to clearly creep into the media's mindset. Because listen to the next question.
Robert, you're a guy who's enjoyed talking to the media, enjoys the interaction, but yet you're always in the center of some sort of controversy. Is there any thought to dialing it back and saying less and just not being in the center of it all?
Yeah, man, like I said, we're focused on San Francisco, so that's all we got.
That's full Belichick. That is full Bill Belichick. Shutting it down. We're moving on to the next opponent. Next question. What's going on here? Roll it, Mike.
Going back and looking at the tape, looking at the games, anything in particular you're wanting to be working on this week and improving in your game?
Everything, man. Like I said, Jay wants me to play better. I want to play better. We want to win. That's all we're focused on, getting a win. And we got San Francisco coming up. They're not going to make it easy.
They're not going to make it easy. San Francisco, copy points. Copy points, RG3, bless you. Copy points, you're reading them. Copy point A, I've got to play better. Copy point B, Jay wants me to play better. Copy point C, we're playing San Francisco. That's all I'm focused on. Focus is a great buzzword for a quarterback in this situation. I'm focused. Roll it, Mike.
Easy.
When he talks about footwork and remembering, 5-step drops, 3-step drops, is that just something that you have to rep out, or how does a quarterback improve precision on his footwork and
How does
things
a
like
quarterback
that?
improve?
Yeah, man, like I said, just focus on San Francisco now.
Shutting it down. I'm not going to sit here and talk about my process of working on footwork. I'm shutting it down, people. You're not going to get me anymore talking about 11 guys and all 11 guys have got to work, and if they don't work, I'm not working well. Shutting it down. Attaboy, RG3.
He's learning.
Shut it down.
He's
Keep
learning.
going. Oh, he's not done. Keep going, Mike.
This year has set back your
Media
development.
doesn't know what to do now.
Oh, man. I've only been able to play a couple games, but, we got another one coming up, and that's all we're promised. So I'm just focused on San Francisco, doing what I can to help this team win.
Doing whatever I can to help this team win. One game at a time, focused on this game. And by the way, the games against San Francisco, I'm not sure if you're aware, that's who's next.
He's said it 5 times already.
How good is this, man?
Can I play contrarian here for just 1 second?
Please, is this a grand sweeping statement?
No grand sweeping statement.
All right,
and
Law.
I love what John Gruden said. Or Jay Gruden said. I think that's needed and what you should do. But we're criticizing Robert Griffin for what he says at a press conference. What other coach that has 3 career wins goes up there and pretty much launches his quarterback under the bus?
Well,
Don't you handle that in-house also?
that is a good question. But I think that Jay Gruden had enough. We also don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Jason Reed of the Washington Post is going to join us at the bottom of this hour. I assume he was in this press conference. And that's a good question to ask him. I will ask him that question. But it just seems like when your quarterback performs that way, and as he pointed out, everything that he did wrong, and he starts talking about how other guys in the locker room didn't play well, and he doesn't play well, I think Jay might have had enough. And he went out there and just obviously added fuel to the fire. But RG3 today just took a page out of the Belichick press conference playbook. And when you do that and you shut it down and the media notices you're shutting it down, it adds a little bit of confusion. Wait a minute, RG3, normally you're so open. Now they just ask him a direct question. Are you not going to be so open anymore? Which means he talks about, I'm not going to do that anymore. And that makes it even about the media, which we love. He'd even go down that road. It's on to San Francisco. Shut it down, RG3. Shut it down. And then when you keep doing that, as you hear in the Belichick press conferences, there are long pregnant pauses. Play this last part, Mike Del Tufo. After one answer he gives is a long pregnant pause. I think one of the media members even goes, play it.
Yeah, man, like I said, just focus on San Francisco now.
6 times.
This year has set back your development.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I've
I'm not
only
gonna
been able
answer
to
that.
play a couple games, but, we got another one coming up, and that's all we're
That's
promised.
all we're
So
promising.
just
Hold
focus
on.
on San Francisco, doing what I can to help this team win.
Yeah, that's all he's trying to do is help his team win. He's just playing. He caught himself. I've only been out here, has it set back your development? And I've only been out here 2 games. And he caught himself because that's the path that he can't go down. I've only been out here 2 games. You know what? I was injured, which, quarterbacks never talk about their injuries because that's an excuse. Phillip Rivers, we didn't hear about how badly he's hurt. It was Antonio Gates who had to cough that one up. Quarterbacks, Big Ben, we had him on yesterday. I asked him if he needed the bye week, and he's like, yeah, I could use the bye week. Nothing serious, though. Nothing serious. He downplays the injuries. Brady, Brockman, how many times do we hear he needs surgery after a season?
Foot, shoulder,
During the season, do we hear about
wrist. Never.
it? We don't.
Never.
RG3 was about to go down that path and caught himself and shut it down. You go, RG3. You go. Shut it down. That's the way you handle it.
If I could,
I am so proud of RG3. I'm so proud of him. On Monday, I said, help me help you. Help me help you. Don't do this. And what he did was he just went to the master playbook. Master playbook, Bill Belichick, shut it down. Jason Reed of the Washington Post will join us at the bottom of this hour. I wonder what it's like to be on the business end of that. It's not fun. It's not fun. Certainly if it's Belichick. That is definitely not fun.
if I could defend Belichick for a second.
There's no reason to defend him.
No, but I'm saying, Robert kind of went modified Spurrier. He was really good in college. Maybe he doesn't have the chops for the pros, and he's probably going to get run out of Washington soon.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.